Yeah, this is We Are Podcast, the only show where we talk about what we want to talk about. We Are Podcast, let the ice house flow. We Are Podcast, it's an internet talkie show. We Are Podcast, you know the mouse knows. We Are Podcast, so look up an episode and now let's start the show.
Hello and welcome to We Are Podcast, the only podcast on the internet where we talk about what we want to talk about. My name is Matt.
And I'm Phil of Overlord Tanks.
Just thank you, anyone and everyone for being here. Alright. We are tries. We try craft beers. We try shit I find at stores and think's funny. Whatever. I'm not counting shit. I ain't counting no numbers. Do I look like a mathematician?
As if we ever counted.
We did at one point, but then I just stopped. Because we drank beers before the show. Alright. But today we're trying New Holland Brewing Company Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barreled Aged Stout. And I'm already regretting this. Alright, Punisher here. Punisher's beer. Oh, yeah. Smell, give her a sniff, Phil. It smells horrible.
It does smell horrible.
It really does smell like bourbon, I'll give it that. Smells.
I am getting a bourbon smell.
What's that shit? I've never drank them. A
E&J?
No, a Boilermaker where you put a shot of beer in or a shot of whiskey or whatever in a beer.
Old school.
And like I said, I've never drank one, but I imagine that's what this smells like. Oh.
Or pretty close to it.
Yeah. Alright, Phil. We Are a Podcast. Can't get ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah!
Well, hell, it ain't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's very smooth. Tastes kind of like bourbon and maybe kind of a dark beer kind of mixed together, I think. It's really smooth.
Maybe I should have read the back, because here's the alcohol content. 11% by alcohol volume, which, for that high of an alcohol volume, ain't that bad. But apparently it's a rich, roasted, and creamy creams with heavy notes of vanilla and just enough familiar wrath of the dark barrel. I don't know. But it ain't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm still not going to recommend it, though.
Actually, for as high as the rating is, you would think it would taste
More like
horrible.
gasoline. More like gasoline.
Right, like gasoline.
Yeah.
It's actually smooth, though.
Yeah. Just smells like a fucking inside of a whiskey bottle. I don't know though. 2 plus, like I said, for the price, $4.20 a beer. It's not that good.
I agree. The price is high, but it is very smooth and it does taste good. But I would probably just buy this one time.
This is the only time I'm probably going to drink this.
It wouldn't be something I'd keep buying on a regular basis because I'd be broke.
Unless New Holland Brewing Company wants to send me different beers that they have so we can try and sway my opinion, I'm more than open to that.
Eh?
Anyone want to send us free beer?
Eh?
We don't have a Patreon. That's all the money. Phil, where's all the Patreon money? You just hold up an empty bag full of cans. It's right there. I don't know. Like I said, I'm making fun of it for the price. I don't know, but if this is kind of your thing and you have an online review show where you try different craft beers, yeah, go for it.
I think it's very smooth, but I would probably just try it one time. And for the alcohol rating, you would think that it would taste bad, but it actually doesn't.
Well, I think I know we said this in private before, but I don't know if we ever said it on show. But beers with usually like 9 or 10% alcohol volume taste really really bad, and like you taste nothing. You don't really taste beer at all. You just taste like alcohol. Like I said, it tastes like gasoline.
It's kind of like a yeast type taste.
Yeah, it's 9 out of 10 times. It's usually thick too. This is kind of thick, but like I said, the heavy creams must have nullified the fucking taste of a barrel. But the reason why I bought Dragon's Milk today for the show is because we went to go see Marvel's new movie, Doctor Strange. And I don't know, dragons, wizard shit. But I just thought about that the second after I bought them too, after that high price. If they do this in the movies, I would love it. But dragons, technically, in the Marvel comic universe, are technically aliens from another planet that just came down here around like the Night Ages and shit, and that's how they became folklore and stuff. Like this, you're not going to see this dragon in there, but Kitty Pryde from the X-Men, she actually has a little pet dragon.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I was about to say that little purple dragon she hangs out with and stuff.
Yeah, it has a name. I don't remember it though.
I want to say Lockjaw, but that's the dog from the Inhumans. Now, if they also put in the movies a fucking giant mutant pug in the movies, I'd love that too.
That would be amazing.
But it'd also be awesome to see Doctor Strange fight Fin Fang Foom. Pretty much just big lizard dragon. He's like a Chinese dragon. Fights Iron Man sometimes. I'm glad, like I said, we'll talk about this movie a little bit, but one of the biggest problems people are saying about the Marvel movies is, you know, we've seen all the Marvel movies technically, and they're getting stale, they're getting repetitive. We're just seeing another new origin story for another douchebag character that gets fucked up, then wants to become a hero to make amends for being an asshole.
It is kind of all about the same thing.
Except for Captain America. Captain America didn't do that shit. Captain America was a legitimately nice dude who volunteered to get experimented on. That makes it different. He didn't get hit by a car and then shoot himself up with super soldier serum, you know?
I agree, he didn't.
Yeah. Tony Stark didn't want to become a good guy until he got hit by one of his own weapons. You know?
Oh, I hate what I do.
Yeah. Well, Phil, can you imagine if you made guns and then got shot by the gun that your company made? That kind of fuck with you a little bit, I would guess, right?
Well, it'd make you hate guns more.
Yeah. Actually, I can't remember her name, but there's some lady who was crazy, and she's related to Smith and Wesson, and you know, she inherited all that money over the years off them.
Correct.
Or no, she inherited the money whenever whoever the fuck died. I can't remember exactly. But she was so freaked out that there were ghosts haunting her from people that were killed by Smith and Wessons, you know. Why did you make that gun? That she has like all these secret rooms and
my blood is on you.
You did this to me. She has like, you know, you remember that commercial, that fake commercial on Rick and Morty? Real fake doors here. Look at that. Doesn't open. Look at this one. Doesn't open. She made like a fun house.
Huh.
Like, there were literally stairways that would just lead up to these tiny little doors that you couldn't get in or out. Like I said, it wouldn't open. It just led to that. Just to try and she was trying to confuse Ghost. They can't find me if I turn this corner, and then the door doesn't open, even though they're a ghost. But whatever.
Odd.
Yeah. Paranoia will do some shit to you, I guess. Paranoia and kill.
That is odd.
Yeah. But she didn't technically kill those people. Whoever bought those guns killed that people. America! Alright. But that's one thing I'll give about, that's the other thing too, like, Guardians of the Galaxy were kind of like what we had, like, I wish they would do it more like this. Just like, so many characters have an origin you can get done in like 5-10 minutes. Like Spider-Man, okay, Peter Parker was an asshole and let a robber get away and he got his uncle shot. Now he feels bad about it. Now he's going to go save people after he got spider powers. Or when he's got spider powers, right? Boom. Right. Done. Batman, little kid, sees his parents get shot. Goes, becomes a detective and a ninja and doesn't want that shit to happen ever again to anyone. Boom. Done. Yeah. Boom. Done. Superman, son of a lost planet, lands on this one. Gets raised by really nice country folk. Turns out he gets superpowers by standing in the sun. Boom. Done.
Right. Then there wouldn't be a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Doctor Strange is the same way. Guy's an asshole doctor that doesn't relate to help people, unless it makes him famous in some kind of way. Gets in a horrible accident, gets his hands all smashed up. His is a little more elaborate. Can't become a doctor, or can't get his hands fixed, so now he's going to the mystic arts to fix his hands.
With whatever's necessary.
Yeah. That's how great of a doctor he is, that he's willing to learn any medical practice to get the job done.
He didn't want to give it up.
Yeah. Alright. So like I said, that's pretty much, people are complaining about the origin story stuff. Then there's the other race stuff. But we'll talk about that after we give our actual review of the movie. We'll talk about that at the end, I guess.
Well, it was the only thing he knew, too, though.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he was a douchebag, too. And he's like, because they were like, well, you could still be a medical assistant or something, you know. And he's like, no, fuck that. I'm Doctor Strange.
I gotta save people's lives.
Well, he doesn't want to save people's lives. He wants to be the one to save people's lives. So people are like, wow, you're a real nice dude. Thanks for doing that sweet medical shit no one else could have done but you.
Right.
You're number one.
You're number one great guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's what some people are saying too about the race shit. Now he goes to a foreign country. Well, you've heard this before. White guy goes to a foreign country, learns kung fu or whatever, and comes back and saves the world.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't an exactly original story either. I'm kind of being like a little harsh on the movie. I don't know. I don't think it was that bad, being honest with you. It changed it up. Like I said, I see like it's Iron Man with acid. That's what this movie is. Right? Because there's, like I said, there's douchebag gets hurt. Now he wants to learn mystic arts. And now they're like, boom, look at your mind. Now look inside your mind. Now turn the corner. Now go right. Stop. Look at your hand.
Oh no, a wall.
A wall. Yep, Phil. See, you're not high. You passed the test. But also the reason why they did that too is Steve Ditko, the guy that created Doctor Strange. He's pretty known for drawing like weird psychedelic acid backgrounds, and that's what made Doctor Strange popular in the first place. He wasn't the nerdy superhero like Spider-Man. He wasn't the good guy like Superman. He's this tripped out, spaced out space cowboy protecting us from the magic, man.
He's this in between.
Yeah. He's know what's really going on, yo. Like I said, I wish I had some acid when we watched this. Maybe I would have liked well, I don't know, it would have made those first like 30, 40 minutes a little easier to get through, I'm guessing.
It would have. I agree.
Yeah, because now when like I said, okay, now we're getting into the trippy psychedelic shit and magic fightings.
Oh, there's action now.
Like, someone must have really liked Inception and was like, I could do that better. Yeah, fuck him. Ow. Takes another hit of acid. Yeah, I can do this better. Listen to that one song. In a garden of Eden, honey. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing. My voice doesn't sound nowhere good enough, but we've gotten flack for songs before. I'm not doing that shit. Yeah. Unless it's funny. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I liked it. Once it actually started going, like I said, once we got past that origin stuff, he kind of knows magic. Now here's the threat. let's go. I like that stuff. But like I said, him being a douchebag, then trying to redeem himself, then, like I said, just start the movie with him leaving the office early. It's like, oh, doctor, you got the surgery done, but you need to fill out this paperwork. And he's like, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. I got to hit this party up, yo. You know? Then, boom, he gets into the car crash, right? 5-10 minutes, boom. But then, like I say, then like you said, we got to fill another 30 minutes of movie. Yeah. We can't put more magic stuff in. You know how much that cost?
Yeah, a lot.
You know how much easier is for him to just yell at his girlfriend in his apartment? We could shoot that in a day. Damn executives.
It's like, man, I'm not signing that.
They like the ideas, kid. Now, can you knock $20 million off the budget? Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like I said, if you're new to the Marvel movies and you haven't seen all the fucking Iron Mans and Ant-Man, you might like this. It's not, like I said, it's not bad. It's just, like I said, I've seen all these Marvel movies before, and yeah, certain ones are different. Like I said, Guardians and Captain America ain't really the same movie. But I don't know. Let's just get more adventure movies, though.
Save us.
Yeah. Just put out the new season of Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Luke Cage again already. I like the Netflix stuff way better than the movie stuff at this point, to be honest with you.
He did pull off that douchey look. He did always have a douchey look on his face.
Oh, yeah, like I'm saying, none of the acting was bad in this. Everyone, like I said, it's just, like I said, I think I've seen this movie like 4 times already. And I feel like they're going to make it another 4 times. And I'm starting to feel the burnout on it, to be honest with you, a little. And when I was like 10, 12, starting to read comics, and you would have told me, dude, at one point they're going to make so many good or decent superhero movies, you're going to get sick of them. You know?
I hear what you mean.
Like I said, when I was a little kid reading Heroes for Hire and shit, and you're like, dude, one day they're going to make a TV show on Netflix. I'm like, what the fuck's Netflix? You can watch TV shows on your internet. You mean that thing that takes like 10 minutes to load up one page? It's going to be awesome. No, you sound like you're lying to me. When did we get so fat? Dude, pizza, stay away. FYI. Maybe jog a little. I don't like you, mister.
He's just like, stay away from the heart attack food.
Go vegan. Trust me. You don't know what that is now? I wrote this down. Just follow this.
You see, you'll watch an episode of X-Files.
Yeah. Dude, that dude from that X-Files show you like, he still looks like that 20 years later.
Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
Weird Al? He still looks like that. Except for he's not wearing glasses anymore. Why is there a man talking to me in my front yard, standing behind a portal? Now that hopefully I went off rails and made some jokes. Oh, we didn't give our rating for the movie. Like I said, I don't know. If you've never seen this and you got some acid, go for it. Matinee. But, I don't know. Like I said, it's not bad. It's worth seeing. You can rent it. I'm going to cut halfway in there. Either go see it for a matinee with some friends with a buzz on. I bet it's way better. But at the same time, you can wait till it's on DVD. It just depends on how much you like doing drugs in public. That's my rating, I guess. Go see it high or just wait to rent it.
Right. I would actually wait to rent it. That's what I would do. I didn't think, I thought it was kind of slow, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't seem like it had enough action in it for me.
Like I said, you gotta wait till all the trippy shit starts. And like I said, I don't want to see Iron Man argue with his girlfriend, really. Or see, this is what I'm talking about. Iron Man.
They had to put that in there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They had to have some girlfriend argument.
Yeah, instead of Iron Man See, that's what I'm saying. That these movies are starting to blend together to me. I thought Iron Man and Pepper Potts were arguing instead of Doctor Strange, and I can't remember her name, to be honest with you. Right? Because, and that's the other thing, too. Like, there's really no, like, love stories in the Marvel movies. I'm like, oh, wow, that's a real cute couple. I hope they make it. Well, I hope deep down Jessica Jones and Luke Cage will make it, but they only banged like a couple times. Fingers crossed. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage season 2.
Yes, it's kind of like when Marvel doesn't explain something as well, and they're just like, just because, and they just don't explain it, kind of.
Well, part of the thing is too is like they're trying to get these things out there, and they're like, oh, we'll figure it out in the next movie. We'll figure it out in the next episode, whatever. Just go. How much money this just making? All right, now I guess we'll talk about the weird stuff about the movie, the big controversy of people complaining about it being whitewashed. Like I said, white dude going to learn foreign people's culture, becoming the master of it. You know,
Accepting them.
yeah, becoming the great white hope.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what people say about the movie. And the other thing about the Ancient One in the comics. I can see why they could change it, because the Ancient One in the comics is a Tibetan monk that lives in the mountains of Tibet and has the big Fu Manchu beard. And talk like this. The comics were written in the 70s and early 60s. Racial tolerance wasn't really the best well-handled thing during that era. So the Ancient One was kind of a racist stereotype. I am raw.
I came out of womb with this beard.
Yeah, pretty much. Even though I am old, I am still kung fu powerful that knows magic. Ooh. We're gonna catch shit for me doing that voice. But yeah, that's what I was trying to show, like an example. It wasn't handled the greatest back in the 60s and 70s. And plus, the other thing too is China's one of the biggest movie watching companies in the world. The reason why we keep getting more Transformer movies is because even though people over here in America say they don't like them, they still make money, and they make a shit ton of money in China, where there's over 1 billion people. You know,
Probably a shit ton more money.
yeah. And China and Tibet don't really have the greatest relationship, you know. So why would you want a character to start some fucking kind of shit in a country that's going to make you your most money, probably, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it could cause some problems.
Yeah. Like I said, they could be like, we don't really like this character being Tibetan, so we're not going to play your movie, so say goodbye to that money. Oh boy, that shit better not happen. Bottom line, son. Bottom line.
As if, son.
Actually, at one point, they were trying to make it so not racist that they wanted Morgan Freeman to be the Ancient One. Because people love... No one really cared when Morgan Freeman was God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why can't he be an all-powerful wizard?
Write him in.
I would actually love to see that now. Morgan Freeman trying to learn... Maybe that's why he didn't do it, because he didn't want to learn all that stupid hand stuff to make magic.
I thought this was a talking gig.
I thought this was voiceover work. I like doing voiceover work. You sit down with your cup of tea, they give you a piece of paper, you just read it into this mic.
You better not make me miss a mole.
Freckle.
Oh, it's a freckle.
Yeah. When I do good deeds, I get another freckle. Our long history of sneaking in any South Park reference we can.
I have to get one back, because I lost one recently.
I can only go to heaven when I get 1 million freckles. That's a movie. But like I said, I think it doesn't really bother me. Like I said, they're trying to make it so not racist. They made Baron Mordo a white dude in the comics, a black guy. To try to look, see, we kind of switched it. It's different.
You'll still buy it. You'll still see it.
Yeah. And plus, that's the other thing. Like, you only really, like, the only real characters that you follow in the movie once they get into the school is Baron Mordo, the Ancient One. I forgot about his racist ass butler, too. Like I said, this movie's so generic, I forgot the name. But they made him a librarian now, so it's different. It's not racist. He's not a butler, he's a librarian.
But you say, is his name Butler?
No, it's like Chow or something like that. No, it's Wu. Yeah, Doctor. Well, he's technically a doctor too, Doctor Wu. Woo! I thought Ric Flair was Doctor Wu. Woo! But nah, they made him into a librarian and stuff this time, so that's not racist. He's not a servant. Technically, not serving you books. Maybe there's something. Maybe there's a thread line there I don't want to get into. But I don't know, you got to see him fight a wizard too. Like I said, I don't really think it's that big of a deal in this movie. Like, it would have been completely different if like they made Luke Cage a white guy. You know? That I could see having a problem.
Yeah.
You know, because Luke Cage isn't a stereotypical character. Like the Mandarin or I don't know. That's the problem with Marvel too. Like a lot of their Asian characters from that, like I said, the 60s and 70s are all pretty much Asian stereotypes. And you don't want to put those in your $1 million movies that you're trying to sell to Asian countries, you know?
Well, you got to make everybody happy.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you think Chinese people want to go see a movie with Fu Manchu and stroking his beard going, oh, I'm going to get you.
No.
You know? But at the same time, like I said, Luke Cage isn't a racist stereotype character. He's meant to be a black empowering character. So that's why that's different. And the only... Man, this is really bad.
They don't want people to walk out.
Yeah.
That's what starts it.
Yeah, like I said, the only real positive Asian characters I can think of in Marvel... And don't anyone say Iron Fist, because he's a white dude. So that's part of the problem. Yeah. It's Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. But at the same time, that name's not the greatest. And the only reason why Iron Fist and Shang-Chi exist in the first place is because during the Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon, Marvel made a comic book version of it and it sold super well. So they're like, let's just put Bruce Lee in the comics and call him Shang-Chi.
I remember.
Same with Luke Cage. Or Iron Fist, I mean. Hey, that Kung Fu shit's really popular. Make it a white guy so we'll sell better. Like, it's different era.
Target audience right now.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the same reason why Mephisto and Doctor Strange and Dormammu and all that shit became popular, because also during the 70s, like, Metal and Black Sabbath and Motorhead and badass biker movies. That's when all those biker exploitation movies and Satan exploitation movies are getting made.
I remember.
Yeah, like I said, also this is part of making...
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, like I said, part of this is just making money. The kids that are really into Satans and bikers, Ghost Rider. He's a biker with a flaming skull that fights demons. That ought to sell some books. You know? Mephisto. We can't technically say he's the devil. Okay, he's not the devil, he's Mephisto. He's a big red dude that lives in hell and steals people's, or makes deals for people's souls. That's not the devil. Mephisto.
He's the Marvel devil.
Yeah.
Not the real devil.
No. Joe Quesada, when this some old comic book shit, but you know, One More Day where Spider-Man sold his marriage to Mephisto.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. People were putting such a pain, you know, because I think you even said it the best. What part of great power and great responsibility is that? So, yeah. And people were saying he sold his marriage to the devil. That sounds like that absolute last thing Uncle Ben would want him to do. And then Marvel was like, no, it's not the devil, it's Mephisto. He's not the devil. He's, like I said, he's a big red dude who lives in hell and makes deals for people's souls.
Well, he's wearing nothing but red.
Yeah. He's even wearing red panties. All he wears is red panties and a cloak. Tell me that guy ain't evil.
He's obviously not afraid.
And when he magically shows up in a room, fire is surrounding him.
Yep, that's definitely evil.
No, it's Mephisto. But like I said, they couldn't say it was the devil back in the day, so don't worry about it. I was a young kid once. I didn't always hate Spider-Man. But like I said, back in my day, we hated Spider-Man because of clones. Not because of the devil. Yeah, surprisingly for Spider-Man being one of the most popular comic book characters of all time, not a lot of good stories written with him.
I agree.
But at the same time, you can say the same thing about Batman. But there's over 75 years of Batman comics. Not everything's going to be great. But yeah, I kind of got burned out in Spider-Man around the 90s.
Well, some have to be bad, at least.
Law of averages. And like I said, I got burnt out on Spider-Man because of the Clone Saga. Is Peter Parker the real Parker? Is it not? After,
Who cares?
Like I said, after a year or two of just buying random comics, I don't care. Fuck it, I don't care at this point no more. Fuck the Scarlet Spider. Fuck Kane. Fuck the Kremlin. I don't even care if you are. You could be a fucking Peter Parker from a different dimension at this point, bro. Oh, wait. Wait, they did that. But it's Miles Morales. It's not Peter Parker, so it's different. But people like Miles Morales. Here we're going to get the comments. Well, I like Ben Riley. Only you. And plus, the Punisher has always been one of my favorite characters of all time. And the 90s was a problem for the Punisher, too. He became popular, so he had two books at the same time. You know, Punisher War Journals. He was showing up in two or three different books a month, hanging out with Wolverine and Spider-Man. You know. Sometimes you see a character too much, you just don't want to see him no more.
Because that way they could buy, 3 different characters comics.
Pretty much. Well, no, the real reason is like, so-and-so's numbers are down. Who's popular? Put them in a book.
All of them.
Yeah. That's why there's so many crossovers now, because the Avengers movies are popular. Every big event in the comic books right now is where the Avengers are teaming up against someone or fighting each other.
It is.
You know. They've seen what made profit, now they're trying to do that.
Does make sense.
Which is why I like Moon Knight. Moon Knight ain't never getting on the Avengers again. The same with the Punisher, too. Like I said, I have so many Punisher number ones. Just because, like I said, the Punisher's popular. Then the book stops selling. They take it away. They bring it back. They take it away. They bring it back. Oh, here's a miniseries while the ongoing's still going. You know? Comic books will squeeze every dime out of you they can, dude.
We'll make it up in miniseries.
At this point, I don't even think they're putting out all the comic book stuff because they're hoping people. That's what I'm saying. That's why there's so many big events right now. Hey, did you like that Avengers movie? How about this book where the Avengers fight the X-Men? That might be pretty sweet, right? How about this book where there's all these different multiverses of the Marvel Universe compressed into one planet and it's ruled by Doctor Doom? That sounds pretty sweet, right?
Who cares if they lost one of those times?
Yeah. We're rebooting the universe anyways. Doesn't matter.
This technically didn't happen already.
We'll retcon it in a month. Just ask Grant Morrison. Excuse me.
Wasted.
Plus, DC's notorious for that too. Every 5 years or so, they reboot their whole entire universe or change shit to try and make it sell better, make it make more sense, as they say.
Say some shit.
Well, I think that's why the New 52, they did the New 52 to begin with, because someone at the office realized, you know what always sells really well for us? Number one issues. Why don't we make every book a new number one, and that way people will buy every book.
Right.
Still going on that mentality of like I said, if you're gonna read comics, read them because you enjoy them or something. Don't think you're gonna buy a comic book out of a new comic book that just came out this week. Hold on to it for 20 years and make any money off it, because
That don't work.
that's most likely not gonna happen. You might get lucky and buy like some random indie issue thing that becomes popular, like The Walking Dead. If you have like a mint copy of The Walking Dead #1 from Robert Kirkman, I think it's worth like $8,000-9,000 or something. But at the same time, that was an indie book that they didn't even think was going to become this popular to begin with, so they only printed up 10,000 copies. Guess what? Batman's popular. Superman's popular. Spider-Man's popular. They're not going to print only 10,000 issues of that character, you know?
I see what you mean.
You know?
They're gonna print as many as they want.
Well, as pretty as they think they can sell.
More than that.
Well, that's why you got to pre-order comics now, because they want to know how many they can print without having to go over budget. Ugh. That's probably why they love digital so much now, because now you don't got to print paper at all, which I imagine is probably a huge cost.
Digitals don't bend.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like holding a book. I have a tablet, but it's only like a 8-incher. I like my big oversized copy of Animal Man. I like my hardbound editions of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. I also like my voice. Apparently doesn't like me today. I like my big hardcover double-sized editions of The Walking Dead. You know, you can't sell that in comic book form. Doesn't look pretty on my shelf. Doesn't look cool on my phone. You think anyone's going to be like, hey man, check out my sweet Swamp Thing comic on my phone. You want to read it? I need my phone back though. Yeah, I got to get that back. I got to go to work tomorrow. You know, you can't, because as far as I know
what you mean.
You know, you can't, like, you know, you don't read that many books, but I was like, hey man, read this. You know, you don't want to sit there with my phone in your hand. You know, like Preacher. Preacher's one of my favorite series of all time. You've never read it. It's 9 volumes. Can you imagine reading that on your fucking phone?
Ass.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a great series. You should read it. I have the
Not
books.
on the phone.
Yeah, but not, like I said, on the phone, it doesn't.
Forever.
Yeah. And they do it now where they show you every little individual panel, so it's not hard to read. But still, that's just, I don't know. There's just something about that doesn't compute with me.
Get impatient.
Yeah, and plus with the other thing, too, like I said, when I'm reading them, I read it about once every year or so. I can just sit down in my house, turn on some music I want to listen to, get myself a bottle of booze, just kick back, read Preacher all day. I'm sure you could do that on your phone, too, but it doesn't.
That's great.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the same experience that I'm having. You're seeing the Walking, or what's one of them psychedelic bands? You're seeing Fish on the albums, man. I'm seeing them in person. You know how hippies love going in their van following Fish around?
Yeah.
That's where we should go to find some acid. We should have found a Fish concert before Doctor Strange. Maybe we would have liked the movie more. Check. I want to, you know how I was talking like I like to buy like the hardcore, the hardbound big editions, collector's editions of things sometimes. You get a fucking, check out my limited edition Swamp Thing tablet, man. It's fucking awesome. It's got Swamp. Although I'm sure they sell shit like that. Actually, now I think about it, they have Wonder Woman phone cases and Batman cell phone cases and shit too. Maybe not Swamp Thing, but I'm sure, like I said, if I want a Spider-Man phone case, I'm pretty sure I could probably get one pretty easy.
I actually like the way those big books look.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's... Plus you get to look all hoity-toity and shit. Like, I'm reading the big book. What are you reading about? I'm reading about a guy trying to survive the zombie apocalypse and running into nothing but assholes.
And he likes to shoot people in the head.
Oh, that's the only way you gotta make sure they go down for sure. Because you pop them, put a couple in their ribcage, really, just come back as a zombie.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they don't say
I forgot about that.
All right, they don't say zombie; they say walker.
Right.
That makes it more extreme, or I don't know. I always hated that. That's
It's different.
Yeah. That's one thing I hate about certain zombie fictions. Like, in some movies, people act like zombie movies exist. In other movies, people are like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of a dead body getting up and walking around before. I'm like, really? There's never been a movie, a folklore story, Tales of zombies and zombie-like creatures that existed since the birth of fiction.
He's out of the times.
Right. Like, Sinbad Seven Voyages of the Sea and shit don't exist. You've never seen a skeleton soldier or nothing like that,
Something wrong with that.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like... Dude, books in your universe must suck. Who do you guys fight on the first level of a dungeon? Bats. Lots and lots of bats and rats.
I can't believe I did forget that. I forgot. They are all zombies already. And they come back to life after they die. That's right.
Yeah, you get hit by a car, brain ain't smashed in, zombie. You stub your toe, gets infected, you die in your sleep, zombie. And plus, that's the only other That's still in that first scene, though, in The Walking Dead, I guess, spoilers, whatever, for a show came out, what was it, 7, 8 years ago now? But how the fuck did the army lose to zombies? Right? It seems like you should just drive that tank, even if the town was over-flooded, just get a tank and another tank behind it, and then a couple guys with heavy machine guns and flamethrowers behind that, and just drive up and down the street.
Yeah, it does make sense. Tanks cover the whole street.
Yeah. And if they're still living people in the city, they'll get the fuck out of the way of a tank.
You ain't stopping no tank.
Yeah. They ain't Chinese. I'm gonna cut that. Let's say I might cut that out. Turns out that's PC Principal's dad. Did you use a microtransmission?
Calling people retarded is not funny, bro. Don't call people stupid.
And that's 2 days detention.
Not cool, bro.
And that's 2 days detention.
2 days detention. And I'm taking your lunch from you, too.
I know, it's funny. He's bullying people about bullying people. That's the joke. Woo, woo, woo! Oh, Phil, I gotta buy a PlayStation whatever, or an Xbox whatever now, because that's where the new South Park game's coming out on. Lame. Fuck that, Phil. Maybe I should just join the PC Master Race. There we go. Get me one of them computers that's bigger than my computer, so I have to set it on the floor. Or computers that's bigger than my desk, so I have to set it on the floor. Always having to run out and buy new coolant because the hard drive's about to fucking set on fire. Yep, Phil, the PC Master Race. Shit, Phil, who am I kidding? I haven't even beaten Skyrim yet. I did the Vampire DLC. There's too many side missions, and I want to get every side mission so I can become the most powerful being of all time.
I know. There's always plenty of stuff to do.
Plus, the new Fallout's not supposed to have a level cap on it, and that was always one of the most disappointing parts of when Fallout's when you hit your level cap and you realize, man, I could have made this character way better.
Yep.
Now you can, for real.
Yep, I remember I had a crappy guy before I made a guy that was just like a god. Like, I could literally jump off a bridge, and if I was right in front of the person when I was dropping down, I could splatter their head as I was dropping at the same time. Because it would say 95%, and it boom, and then I dropped to the ground, and my guy would still die. But hey, I hit that person while dropping in the air. God stuff.
It's not really God die.
Right, but still, it was crazy.
More like...
Because I just wondered if I could shoot somebody in the head while I was dropping off something, and I did it.
It's more like, fuck it, I'm going to kill myself anyways. I'm going to see if I can take this asshole with me. That's really what it sounds more like, dude.
Nobody likes Colin Moriarty anyway.
Dude, fuck Lost, or New Vegas.
I know.
I hate New Vegas. I sucked so hard at that one.
Actually, you really don't have to be too good at that game, but you do have to play it like super down to the bone. Like
Well,
go for every stat.
I did eventually beat it, but like you said, there were so many times where like, fuck, I just gotta wander around and grind just to try and get through this next fucking part.
I agree.
Oh, great, I ran into the powder gainers and they blew half my fucking arm off already.
Yep, it was pretty tough.
Oh, great, now a fucking fire gecko showed up. Oh, yeah.
I hated those things too. But I'd run into a lot of like rad scorpions, the really huge ones, and they'd be like, "Dink, oh, I'm gone." And I rolled through the whole game with one little boomstick that I had, just at close range.
Well, that's eventually what I had to do. I just put all my shit into repairs and small arms weapons. That way I could just run up on people with this fucking combat shotgun. How do you like your face? Not too much? Boom, I'll fix that for you.
Splat.
Hey, you need this wall painted red? Not really. Well, it happened. Right. Although another one of my favorite games of all time is Red Dead Redemption. John Marston. Fucking 100% at that thing. And I don't play poker, Phil, so I had to look that shit up online. Figure out how to play poker and beat that stupid thing.
I was actually pretty good at doing that in the game, but yeah, I see what you mean.
You know what the worst one was? Was horseshoes.
Yeah, that was pretty challenging. It was harder than it looked.
Yeah, because I can't remember what the 100% that thing you had to do, like a perfect throw. And that was so fucking hard to do.
I remember I had to keep reloading.
Yeah, fuck!
Mm-hmm.
But they're coming out with this doesn't make sense considering Red Dead Redemption is a sequel to Red Dead Revolver, but no one ever played that shit. So they're coming out with a sequel to Red Dead Redemption called Red Dead Redemption 2. All they got is this red image of what looks like John Marston's game from back in the day. People are saying that's what the story is going to be about. John Marston trying to get away from the gang or something like that.
Well, I thought it was before he stepped on the ferry and, went to the new place. That's what I thought.
I don't know. Like I said, they didn't really say it. They just said, hey, we're doing this. Here's a picture. Have fun with that, Internet. We all know how you love going cray-cray out and trying to decode shit. Phil, is this dress blue or gold? I don't at this point, I don't. But hell yeah, that took long enough. And like I said, I'm looking forward to that. I'll play it if I have whatever system comes out at the time. But they made all this fucking money off the goddamn GTA games, so I'm gonna get my Bully 2.
Bully 2. I told you that they're doing GTA 5 Tron or whatever that is. So they're doing GTA Tron now.
Dude, they're not quit making GTA games anytime soon. I'm just saying, you got all this money, why not make more than one? Make more than 2 games every 5 years. Come on. Hire more people. Get Bully 2 out there. Scar of Gary. Other than that, can you think of any other GTA games you want a sequel to? You want fucking... Didn't they make a ping pong table game?
I
remember.
Yes, I remember.
I can't remember what it's called, but it seems so weird for Rockstar, the studio that's known for like the super uber violent games like Manhunt and Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption's kind of gory too.
Their games get in trouble all the time.
Oh, Germany hates Rockstar. Apparently, they ban like they can't ban. Maybe that's what they did. Hey, Germany, try and ban this one. Huh? That ping pong table's red. we just instated a law where we don't allow red ping pong tables in this country. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, well, like I said, I always thought that was funny that the company that's known for like getting in some kind of legal or mortal trouble every game they release.
At least.
Yeah. And here's a table tennis game. What's wrong with that?
Hey, they tried.
I wonder if someone just did that out of spite. Right,
Most likely.
right, because one of their first games I remember came out, and it's kind of like the beginning of GTA. What was it, Gangland or something like that? I remember you'd run around and shoot up a mall and shoot up the street. You had to kill so many random gangsters, and then you get to move on to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's kind of like GTA, except for then they actually started to add story and characters rather than I'm the guy with the gun with the red hat. I'm the guy with the gun with no hat.
That's why GTA 3 was cool. That guy never talked.
Oh, right, that's right. Rockstar didn't even make the first 2 GTA games, did they?
Well, I think they did.
Well, that studio would eventually become Rockstar, but they didn't start releasing it with the Rockstar name
Correct.
until 3. I forget about that. You don't ever hear no one talk about 1, 2, and what the hell was the British one? Wasn't it Grand Theft Auto Britain?
Uh,
The one where you got to run over people in Michael Myers'
GTA
car?
London.
Yeah, GTA London.
Yep.
Where you got to hit people in Michael Myers' car? Not the slasher villain, the comedian. Or no, Austin Powers. That was the character. I was like,
Yep.
dude, those Austin Powers, I haven't seen those in so long, and I don't want to remember. I was like, what the fuck is that stupid shit? All right. Maybe that's why, too, because when that shit came out, that shit was so popular, and everybody would be like, groovy, baby. Shut the... You know, that wasn't groovy. You just walked into my door. You came in, I opened the door, and you said groovy. How is that groovy? Do you have a pizza? No? you just wanted to hang out. Okay, that's real groovy, man.
It's like, yeah, it's groovy. You didn't call me before you came over.
Yeah. Was the joke worth it? The movie's been over for a fucking year now, dude. It's on VHS.
What? Was the joke that bad?
Yeah. Shut up, Negan.
Right.
No, I was about to say, what are you going to say? What are you going to say next? I can't remember if that came out before or after, but you get the joke. What other old meme and joke are you going to spit at me now? Grumpy Cat hasn't came out yet. Because I have internet future telling powers. What's the internet?
Mm-hmm. The intranet? I mean...
The intranet? That's still kind of hard to believe that there was a time when we were alive that not everyone had the internet or let alone knew what it was. And like we were saying earlier, like, you mean that thing where it takes like 10 minutes for something to pop up on?
You mean albino black sheep?
Yeah. You mean that thing every time I turn it on, it goes... God, how awesome it was when the fucking modem didn't make that noise anymore.
Correct. I remember I heard it recently and I was like, oh man, I remember that.
Ugh. I know, back in the day you just kind of got used to it, but now after you're hearing it, after I'm saying like these horror stories, MS Dot,
right?
Fuck is that?
Well, I kind of forgot for a few minutes. Then I heard that on like the show, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that. Oh yeah."
That's just fucking horrifying, son.
Correct.
And imagine trying to sneak it onto the internet at 2:00 in the morning with that kind of shit.
Yeah. Make sure the speakers are off. That's for sure.
It didn't even come out the speakers, dude. It came out the modem itself. You couldn't stop it.
Well, now you can.
Now it doesn't even make that noise. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's true. Most of them are now automatically connected.
The internet's always on, Phil. Always watching you. Always recording everything you've ever done.
Matt just acts like he knows.
Whatever. Just kidding. Dude, like I said, I don't care if the fucking government's looking at me, what I do. He does the crappy comedy show on the internet with his brother where he makes fun of beer and movies. He really seems to like comic books and watching shit on YouTube. I think this guy's a terrorist. No, wait, he's not brown. Doesn't look brown, at least. I keep forgetting that part. Whatever, Phil, I'll be fine. He's already saying he's not making that wall anyway. You heard that, right?
Yeah, it's too much.
Oh, yeah.
think I took a break from the internet for a bit, and I didn't see anything posted like that, so I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I ain't been on Facebook in like 2-3 days.
Correct.
I'm like, I ain't fucking with that shit.
I'm sure it's been posted. I just didn't see it.
No, I heard it on the news. Donald Trump already tracking statements that he said he would do when he was president.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, damn, he ain't been president fucking a week yet.
Right. It was quick. You already want to impeach him.
Hey, I just want to say that. I don't think I'm going to leave that in the show, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't like. We made fun of religion that one time. We didn't get no shit for it, but I don't want some fucking nut dragging his
You
church.
never know.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want some nut dragging his church or political beliefs all over our channel, you know?
You don't want to wake up and then outside people picket signs.
Well, not that I wake up and there's picket signs, it's that I wake up and every other video's got a dislike on it. There's some guy like, this guy's an anti-religious bigot. Fuck.
Yeah, screw that.
You know, I don't want that kind of, you know. This guy doesn't like the right government. He's a fucking communist. You know? This guy likes Marvel movies.
Mm.
You ever think when Mario first came out? I can't remember if PETA was around at the time, but they've given Mario shit about. PETA's giving Mario shit. Do you ever think back in the day there was some kind of religious group or political groups like, this game promotes stomping on turtles?
I don't know.
Like I said, that I remember. Well, PETA's kind of a piece of shit company because sometimes they do shit that's obviously supposed to get media attention.
Correct.
You know, because I remember when the Mario Wii U came out or whatever, PETA was putting out pictures of Mario wearing like a bloody Tanuki costume and a bloody cat costume, like he skinned this animal and is now wearing it.
Ugh.
Yeah, like that's part of this game. I'm like, no, it's a costume. He's costume that gives him superpowers. Maybe Iron Man made it. I don't fucking know. But it's not a little cat skin, you know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I remember one time too, I played it online somewhere. They made a Pokemon ROM hack where like the characters had like bloody mouths and foamy mouths and shit. Maybe this wasn't a PETA thing.
Those are fun.
Yeah, I was saying that might have just been something someone made to make fun of PETA. But they made it like the Pokemon are killing each other for realsies. Well, plus, like I also said too, remember we were watching some Pokemon Go videos when the thing first came out, so we could play it and talk about it on the show. But remember, we saw that one dude put some video on YouTube. He was a preacher or pastor or something. I don't fucking know. Remember, he's like, they're giving our children this free app where they open it up and there's little digital demons all around us. We opened it in the church ourselves, and there was little demons right in our office.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that's how you start. No matter where you are, as long as you get a connection, these 3 Pokemon show up. You could be in your toilet. There could be a fucking Charmander taking a shit on your bowl right now if you wanted.
What's that?
It's a digital demon. It's gonna suck out my digital soul and sell it to Digital Mephisto. Turns out the head of Pokemon, it's actually Mephisto. That's why they're making all that money, yo. Every time a little kid plays a Nintendo game, loses their soul. Act like you didn't fucking play fucking over 70 hours of fucking Pokemon Gold and or Blue or Red or Silver. You didn't have to turn the music off when you're playing it on the Game Boy because you'd hear that shit in your head. That's because it was a digital demon. It was a digital demon singing in your ear, and if you play it at this certain frequency, it's telling you to kill.
It would get stuck in your head. Can't sleep.
I don't know. I've been up for 6 hours in one spot playing this game. Why can't I fall asleep?
Just 5 more minutes. Oh, shit.
Oh, hold on. I can totally beat this gym if I just get up one more level. Start telling you. Like I said, Phil, that's your soul going, yes. 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 Beat the Kanto region and you'll be the Pokemon Master. That's the other thing, too. The fuck is the Pokemon Master, man? Shit ain't never gonna happen. Ash has been working at that shit for over 20 years. Granted, he's still 10, but
Maybe the Pokemon Master doesn't exist.
they never. That's the other thing too in the game and the show. They never really say what the fuck a Pokemon Master is. What job does that? I know it's a job title, or at least I think it is. But what does that incline me to do when I get that job?
Like, all of my characters kill everyone's Pokemon, right? Like, it doesn't matter
Am I one
what
of
team or whatever.
Am I one of those guys that hangs out on the block for you to walk by him so we can start some shit and we get into a fight? Hey, bro, did you just walk past me? Time to battle! That's the other thing, too. I guess the Pokemon games are kind of violent because sometimes you just walk by some people that are like, hey, you want to make our animals fight? Can you imagine you're walking your dog and some other guy with a dog comes by and is like, hey, man, you want to fight? Especially like he's got a giant ass Rottweiler or a fucking Golden Retriever or something. You got like a little Chihuahua. My level 20. My level 20 Golden Retriever will totally beat your Chihuahua.
Odd. That would be odd.
Or no, Phil, you want to be a grass type Pokemon Master, so you're out walking a shrub. Some guy with a dog just comes by. Or no, a guy with a flamethrower. I'm a fire type. You want to fight? I don't know. It was fun. Kind of fucked up when you think about it, though.
That is true.
Hey, I'm a fire type. Or no, my level 5 flamethrower can totally beat your level 2 Chihuahua. And Phil, and that's what the origin of the Taco Bell dog. And with that being said, this is the end of We Are Podcast, the only podcast on the internet where we talk about what we want to talk about. This was episode 70. And my name's Matt.
And my name's Phil of Overlord Tanks.
And as always, thank you everyone for listening. If you like the show, please like, share, favorite, subscribe, leave a question, comment, email at the letter R podcast at gmail.com. Thank you and good night.
Yeah, this is We Are Podcast, the only show where we talk about what we want to talk about. We Are Podcast, let the ice house flow. We Are Podcast, it's an internet talkie show. We Are Podcast, you know the mouse knows. We Are Podcast, so look up an episode and that's the show.